5 signs you are ready for the Great Awakening. Guys, the Great Awakening is upon us. We've already been going through it, and it's going to continue. And in order to make sure you're well equipped for this Great Awakening, I'm giving you 5 signs that you are ready. And so for those of you who are displaying these behaviors, these signs, they're applied in your life. This gives you an indicator of what to continue doing and that you're on the right path. And then for those of you who maybe are not displaying all of these signs, it gives you the awareness of what to aim for so that you are more and more prepared to awaken more and more as we go through this wonderful period of human evolution. Or should I say spiritual beings in the human body evolution. That's coming up next. Hi there everyone, my name is Dave and this is HeartSpace, where we are creating videos almost every single day to help you live life in your way. For me, that means from a place of fulfillment, passion, purpose, and it especially means from a place of moving higher and higher into your higher self, expanding your consciousness. And so if that sounds good to you, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos that we release. Now today we're going to be going over the Great Awakening. Now I want to preface this video by saying once again, if you are not displaying some of these signs, do not get disheartened. In fact, you, by watching this video, are displaying at least one of the signs, and we'll get into that. So understand that you are displaying at least one of them. But it's not about displaying all these signs. If you're already there, great, keep going. But it's about gaining the awareness of what they are that are just going to help you along on your journey as, again, we go through this amazing period in human development, in human consciousness evolution. And so rejoice, don't be dismayed, be grateful, don't look at the lack. Just become aware and understand that wherever you are right now is perfect, and just to continue moving along your own evolution. So that being said, let's get into it. And of course, like normal, we are going to start in reverse order with number 5. So before we start, I actually want you to write in the comments, I am ready for the Great Awakening. Put that down below to confirm it, to really start aligning with that, and we'll get into number 5, which sign number 5 is actually that you are watching this video right now. Now, why is that? Why is that a sign that you are ready for the Great Awakening? Because you will not have been drawn to this video for no reason. You are only going to be drawn to this video if it resonates to you on some level. Now, even if you come to this video and you completely rebuff it, it is still a good sign that you are starting to move in a direction, or the universe is starting to bring you things that is aligning you more to this type of content, to this type of information, to this type of wisdom. And so even by being here right now, even if you don't display any of the other signs yet, and those are things you're just working towards, it is a sign by being here that you are becoming more and more ready for the Great Awakening, to learn what you need to learn as we go through this period in human history. And so again, rejoice, be grateful for the fact you've been drawn to a video like this, because for a lot of people, this is way out there. For a lot of people, they'll take one look at this, hear me speak for about 5 seconds and go, what is this woo-woo BS, and leave. But you haven't. You are here. You are open to learning. You are open to understanding and becoming more aware of this kind of thing, and hopefully also applying it in your life. And that is a great first step. So understand that, and we'll move on to the next one, number 4. And number 4 is huge, and especially something you can see going on right now, but it's you do not take especially mainstream information at face value. People who are hooked in, people who are not prepared for what is about to come, they believe everything that comes through the mainstream media, especially. All of the fear-mongering, all of the, this self-policing people are doing, all of this turn your neighbor in nonsense, pitting humanity against each other, looking at divisiveness, at what separates us instead of what connects us. You look at that and you don't take it at face value. You go, you know what? I think something else is going on, and you actually do your own research. You do your own digging. And when you do your own digging, you find videos like this. You find other people on YouTube. You find other teachers that you resonate with, that you find to be true, and go, this is what truth is, not what the news is telling me, not all this fear mongering. I want to move and listen to people who are coming from a certain energy, from a place of love. And so when you start having the discernment to not just take things at face value, to be skeptical, but learn to listen. That's the 5th agreement in the book by Don Miguel Ruiz, or I think it's by his son, or maybe that is his son. I don't know, I forget, I get them mixed up. But in the 5th agreement after the first 4 is be skeptical, but learn to listen. And so you're listening, you are open-minded, you want to expand your awareness, but you're skeptical. You don't just take anything because someone says it. Someone comes up to you and says, hey, you should be doing this. You don't automatically go, yeah, okay, I should be doing this. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you, man. You're not like that, right? You go like, oh, okay, thank you. I'll consider that, but I'm going to do a little more research, right? You're not aggressive or mean about it. You're not dismissive of their worldviews and the reality they're currently going through. No one's reality is better than another. It's just whether it's better or not for you. And so you, again, are skeptical, but you'll listen, right? You'll consider. And so when something does resonate with you, because you've been skeptical and you filtered out all this information that doesn't apply to your heart, doesn't apply to your higher self, doesn't resonate with you, is not going to contribute to your awakening. Once you've done that, you can hone in more on the information that is actually going to assist you in your process of not only collectively with everyone else going through this great awakening, but also awakening as an individual. Sign number 3 is one of my favorites, and it's you are starting to follow and do what actually resonates with you. And this is a very big moment in anyone's life as they're going through their journey, through their hero journey, through their awakening, through their evolution, is they actually don't just think about what they want to do. They don't just see things and go like, that would be cool. They're actually doing it. They are feeling not only this intuitive pull towards certain things, but they're allowing their intuition to take them towards certain things. And they're engaging in those things, They're like, you know what? For me, like making this channel, I want to make a YouTube channel that's about the things I've learned about awareness and spirituality and getting to your higher self and all of this different stuff, helping people live in more fulfilled ways because I'm currently living in that kind of way more fulfilled than I used to be. I want to make a channel about that. Heart goes boom, boom. Yes, great idea. I want to do that. That resonates. That's something I'm excited about. And I go do it. And if you are starting to do that in your own life, you're like, you know what? I really want to try this new skill. Boom. Oh, okay. My heart's leading me to this new skill. I'm going to go do it. And then your head's like, nah, you should go do this, you should go do this, you go do this. Your parents told you should do this or you'll be a nobody. Or these people say you have to do this or you're not gonna be good enough. And you're like, not a chance. Come on, heart, here we go, That's a really goofy way of saying it, but essentially you are moving towards what you resonate with. What it is that actually you are passionate about, actually you would enjoy doing. Something you would actually enjoy doing. Instead of something you've been told you should enjoy doing. But most of the things I was told I should enjoy doing, not only did I not enjoy, I downright didn't like. And so when you are actually moving from a place of following the things that resonate with you, and you are flowing down that river instead of trying to swim upstream going like, no, I don't want to do what I'm passionate about. I got to go over here to my safe job. And, I got to do what all of these people on the news tell me. No, get this thing away from me. Why are you trying to take me? Or I'll just grab this rock. Okay, I'm going to stay here. This is where I live now. That's not going to help you awaken. That is going to keep you in your old story, on your old timeline. I'm laughing at myself, sorry. That is going to keep you in place. But a huge sign that you are on your way, that you are prepared for the Great Awakening as more and more information comes up, guys, because things are going to change more and more because a lot of people are shifting to different timelines right now, onto more optimal timelines, and some people are staying on different ones. And again, it's perfect for whatever one you're on. Whatever they're on, it's no better or no worse. It's just choice. However, if you are starting to be like, oh, this resonates with me, I go do it. This resonates with me, I go do it. And you can actually tune into what your higher self, what your heart is telling you, and you're going off and actually taking the action, huge sign that you are ready. Huge sign that you're just going to be awaking, evolving, growing collectively with the Great Awakening along with everyone else, more and more and more. Number 2 is a huge one. And when I was creating this video, this is one that intuitively came up for me. And then I realized, yeah, it's very true and something I've seen happening in my life. And in the beginning, when you go on a Great Awakening and you start kind of moving into this greater awareness, it becomes very easy to look at the people who have been left behind so far on their journey. Doesn't mean they won't get to this level of awareness at some point in time, but it's very easy to look at them and go like, you're wrong, you're silly, how can you believe all this mainstream stuff? How can you want to do that? It's so obvious that it's a lie. It's so obvious that, you must just be stupid. Yeah, you must be dumb. It must just be like you're not smart enough and I'm just great, I'm just smart. It becomes very easy in the beginning sometimes to allow your ego to be like, I'm more awake. Look how awake I am. My eyes are at least a little bit more open than yours, like physically and like metaphorically. Like very easy to be like that. But the second sign that you are ready is you actually start showing compassion and start feeling compassion to those who may not be as far along on the journey as you are at this current moment. And you stop seeing further along as this superiority kind of thing. And you see it as just the perfect place you need to be versus where they need to be. You see them both as perfect, not like this and this, but that you are both divine, infinite, co-creative beings that are a part of the universe, that you are one and the same, that I am you and you are me. Just different parts in our soul journey. That at our core, we're both divine souls. And there is no better or worse about either of us. Even if one person may be totally hooked into fear and into the mainstream and whatever else, you have more compassion for that person. And what I find a lot, because, you can find it on the internet, like, you're wrong, you're right, this is the way it is, and whatever. Even within spiritual communities, sometimes it can be the worst in spiritual communities. And a lot of people will get in there, same with religious communities, from an egoic standpoint. But that's really against a lot of what the teachings, the true, pure teachings of these religions and all these spiritual sayings and teachers and whatever else are saying. And so the moment you can look at someone who may just not have the awareness yet and actually have love for them, have compassion from a very true, genuine place, is when you've taken a huge leap in your own evolution. And, even for me, sometimes I still revert back. This is one that I'm currently going through my own growth. For the most part, I see compassion, but sometimes I get drawn into saying, oh, this group of people, like, what are they doing? Whatever else, especially if I think it's affecting my reality. And then I remember that the only person that really affects my reality is myself. The only one that can make the choice to speak ill about someone is myself. It doesn't matter what they do. It is my choice whether to show them compassion or not. And so I try as often as I can, to choose compassion. And when you find yourself at a place where, you've become more aware and you've moved further along in the sense of your spiritual evolution, as a divine being, you look back and start to realize that they are also divine beings that, again, are just at wherever they are in the journey. And you only see them through the eyes of love now and compassion, right? It's not that you don't invite them to come to where you are. It's not that you don't invite them to do things that you believe will help them to improve your life, but you don't look at it from a perspective of you need to control it or force. And you certainly don't look at it from a place of needing to ridicule. And so for me, that's a huge step in the right direction of being prepared for the Great Awakening, of priming yourself to be a more loving being, stripping away these attachments of needing to control how someone else shows up in their reality. Because again, a lot of awakening, a lot of growing, a lot of evolution comes from stripping away, not necessarily attaching. In fact, the more you attach, the more you're just going to later have to strip away. Right? We even strip away of these bodies eventually into whatever is next, right? Even our bodies become something that we have to let go of and not become overly attached to, right? So that is sign number 2. I think it's one of the most important on this list. Even when you are in a certain place, don't lose compassion for those who might be in a different place that you at one point in time may have deemed a worse place, but also understand it's where they are in their journey, and just look at them with love. And number 1 sign, first sign, the best sign, not the best sign, number 1 sign, number 1 is that you are ready for the Great Awakening, that you are prepared, is you are constantly jumping into the unknown. Now, we already talked about how when you're having those intuitive pulls, you're taking the action, but a lot of people struggle when it comes to the bigger decisions when jumping into the unknown. A lot of times that intuitive hit will be like, well, you need to quit this job. It's not in your heart. Or it'll be like, you need to leave that person, or you need to get with that person. That can work both ways. It's going to be something of that. It might be a big life decision that, for a long time, you've kind of been feeling like you should do. Like, I need to move to this place because it's where people that are in my energy are. For example, I've been hearing from following different YouTubers that a lot of them are moving to Sedona because a lot of them have been called to the energy that exists there. And because a lot of them are moving there, then their peer group and the energy, the collective consciousness of that place is only rising. And so, it's a leap into the unknown to completely move to a different place, but they understand that on their path of evolution, it's only going to help them move along that path. And so what is it in your life? What is an unknown in your life that in your heart, that if you were to leap into it, it would move you further along in your own awakening, in your own evolution, something that your soul is calling you towards. And it might be a bigger decision, it might be a bigger leap, but you intuitively know, not only is everything going to be okay, but it will change the game for you. It will change the movie for you. And I think almost everyone has that at certain points in their lives, where it's like, I need to let go of this job, or I need to go after this job and pursue this one. Maybe it's I need to get away from that friend group and start cultivating a better one that's more aligned to me, right? But the number one sign is you are making those decisions, the hard decisions, based on the attachments maybe you once had, and letting go of them. Letting go of the things you know are anchoring you back. Because like I mentioned in the second one, is a lot of times, and most of the time I would say, it's not about bringing more in. It's not about attaching to more things. A lot of times it's about letting go of the known so you can jump into the unknown. And when you jump into the unknown, a lot of your attachments are just going to naturally fall off. They're going to try and keep you from jumping into that unknown, because like they say, when you go skydiving, your ego gives up the moment you jump. The only time it's going to resist is before you've jumped. It wants to prevent you from taking the leap to begin with. But once you've done it, just fades away. It just leaves. It's gone. It can no longer exist because you've moved into something greater. You've moved into a higher level of belief. You have now awakened to the point where the ego at that level cannot exist. Now, it might find new and creative ways to come back in at whatever level you will now be at. But then again, you play the game again, and again, releasing the attachments again with your next leap. But if you are doing that consistently, if you are knowing when it is time to leap into that unknown and you're moving into it, you're not allowing fear to hold you back, huge sign that you are ready for this great awakening that we are currently going through. Huge sign you're going to be maybe even a contributor to it in a very big way. Even though we all are in some way giving our contributions to it. So anyway, guys, those are 5 signs that you are ready for the Great Awakening. Just understand that we are absolutely 100% going through a Great Awakening right now. There have been other ones in the past, but I think this is going to be a huge one. We're already seeing so much just kicked up to the surface. A lot of times when the darkness is to be removed, it has to be brought into the light. And that's why all of this stuff is being kicked up right now. So many things you can find out about certain people we thought a certain thing about. So many fears being brought to the surface, but understand that's what's necessary for the awakening to happen. You have to become aware of what's actually going on. The things that have been controlling things in the background have to come into the light. And they are very much going to, like your ego, when it's about to be let go of, they're going to kick and they're going to scream and they're going to fight until the last breath. But if you stay in your knowingness, if you stay in your divinity, we're all going to go through this and get through this and be so much better on the other side of it. So I'm excited. I hope you are. This is why we are here. As always, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.